Okay, this is a group of people who are studying the effects on hearing and using computers. Particularly at this one, the reason I'm doing the video at home at the moment is because Mr. Scott and I found out that we can't work in the same computer room together doing lessons because of crosstalk. That's where one computer picks up what somebody else is saying and it's too much noise in the background and it becomes distracting. So number of things here to look at. We'll look at the main ones, which are physical first, not just the headphones and everything. Things to consider are your environment. What's the space like around it? Now, you might hear cars driving past me now. They're not too distracting, they're low noise. But if it carried on all day, I know I get tired trying to talk over it or focus past. Now, there are things around in the computer that will cause sound. So just pause a moment, listen very carefully. If anyone else is around, ask them to be quiet, take any headphones out, and sit and think, is your computer making any noises? I'll be quiet for a moment. Now, you may not have it at the moment because if you're watching a video, your computer may not have been doing too much work. But when your computer works, you get a fan running. And fans are low-level noise that can be awkward. So things to consider is what could you do with your computer so that the fan is not directly in your earshot. Now, there are some issues that where you can put it, but look after the computer as well. So if you want to shut off a fan, don't just grab a pillow and stick it over the fan vent. The fan's there for a reason, to keep the computer clear. So consider what's going on with the computer fans. Most computer fans sort of run around 20 to 30 decibels. Now, normal talking level is considered about 60 decibels. So compared to background noise, it's not bad, but if it's always there, it can cause hearing problems. It affects the little hairs inside your ears, and they effectively wear out. So consider the fan. Next one that everyone's got is sitting on a computer, keyboard going all day. There's not a great amount apart from making sure you don't get really noisy keyboards. Modern ones generally are okay for this. They're not too bad unless someone's having a bad day and they start picking up the keyboard and going, that can be awkward. But the keyboards on themselves, most of them are generally quiet. They're very high quality keyboards. IBM used to make one that people love, and it's got something called a cherry key on it. It makes a solid clicking sound. But when you have a room full of people using them, it is not a nice sound. It's almost as bad as when people had typewriters. And the room full of things going is quite a lot of background noise. So you would have to be worried about it. So that's dealing with those. Dealing with mice and keyboards, you've got clicks, they're background noise, and as long as you've got the right sort of modern technology, they shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. Speakers. Now, if you are using speakers for lessons, you should have them at a normal level so that whoever's talking to you is talking at a normal volume level. Those of you who play games, turn it down a little. A lot of people who play games have the volume a lot too high for themselves. If you ever watch people playing video games online, they're all screaming at each other. A number of reasons are they've got the volume up to try and increase the atmospherics, but you are harming your hearing to do it. And if you keep doing the gaming one, and then it's going to affect your hearing, so you've got to do it when you're working as well. It causes problems. again, the fibres in your ear, they can get damaged. Question for you to research is what volume level. Now I'm going to use the English health and safety, but what volume level do they consider as being dangerous? It's something to research and find out. The British Health and Safety, they say after a certain volume, you need to have what are called ear defenders. They look like headphones, but their job is to reduce all sound. Next bit. So that, you could reduce the sound by using headphones. Not a bad idea. I use them in the offices because it helps reduce the noise coming from people outside. But there's a number of things to worry about with headphones. This guy, he's using an over-ear headphone. He's getting direct sound into his ears. As long as he's got the levels right, it's not too much of a problem. But if there's a man sat right next to him and he's got his volume bit too much, you get a constant going on in the side of it. Not a health problem until the man to his left gets annoyed, picks his keyboard up and says, "I've had enough of your teeny little sounds." If you work in group environments, headphones do reduce noise, but they're not the best, a complete solution. If you ask your parents about talking to call centres, you normally, not now, not at the moment under COVID, but when we're under normal operation, a lot of call centres, you've got a lot of people all talking, and they're talking at the same time, and you can hear other conversations going on in the background. That's a noisy environment to work in. You've got 50, 60 people all answering call centre calls. Another thing about headphones, please, particularly with COVID, don't share any form of headphones. In the past, I used to say these are okay because you can take them off. They're not actually protruding anywhere apart from you get a surface grime. Now, under COVID, don't use the headphones at all, please. Don't share them. If you go through the COVID video, it does actually say ears is a place of ingress for the virus. So if you share headphones, you can pass on viruses and bacteria. If you've got earphones and earbuds, most definitely do not share. They are dangerous, particularly now, but I've always said that they're unhealthy. So in-bud ears are a very personal device. Microphones, yeah, if you're working in a group environment, you have to be careful about microphones. The reason this video is being done at home quite late, which is why you can hear the traffic outside, is I wasn't able to work in the same room as Mr. Scott, so we were talking at the same time. I couldn't make videos at that time. Okay, so we're now at the point where microphones, they are a good idea. Get them adjusted well that you can talk slightly lower than you normally would. So you talk normally to somebody at this level, but when you're talking to a microphone, especially with group environments and people going on inside, talk at a slightly lower level for it to work. You do need to work with the sensitivity though, and you need to consider what environment you're in. I've had a few lessons with a few people now where I can hear baby brother and mum and dad or the house carer in the kitchen in the background, and you can hear all of that going on through somebody's microphone. And so consider the environment. If you are online and you're trying to make yourself heard, you need some form of background noise reduction. Asking people to be quiet. I'm in lessons, please can we reduce it? I know it's hard, you're in public areas, but key areas to consider are things like, and the one everyone forgets is, what can you do with a computer so the fan noise from it is not affecting your ears so much? Use of speakers, headphones, microphones, make sure that they are all adjusted correctly, that you can be heard and that you can hear, that you're not picking up things in the background, and consider your mice keyboards. Okay guys, that's that one.